Hello, welcome back to the Nook. I'm Daniel, and today I'll be reviewing this book, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis, Book 2 in the Chronicles of Narnia. And before I get into the review, I'll just read to you the back description just to give you some idea of what the general outline of this book. It says Narnia, a land frozen in eternal winter, a country waiting to be set free. Four adventurers step through a wardrobe door and into the land of Narnia, a land enslaved by the power of the White Witch. But when almost all hope is lost, the return of the great lion Aslan signals a great change and a great sacrifice. So yeah, this was the first Narnia book that was written, and you follow four main characters. They're all siblings. So you have the oldest is Peter, and then there's Susan, and then there's Edmund, and then Lucy. And a lot of people who are watching would be familiar with this story. There are movies of it. It's a very popular book. I feel like this is one of the most popular Narnia books. And honestly, it is one of my favorites. I love The Magician's Nephew, which was my last review. And I will totally say you got to read that one before you read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And there's kind of some cool tie-ins with Magician's Nephew and The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. But anyway, so Peter, Susan, Edmund, and Lucy, they all go over the holidays to stay at Professor Kirk. And Professor Kirk, I don't know if it's a spoiler to say this, but he was the young guy, Diggory Kirk, in The Magician's Nephew. He was Uncle Andrew's nephew, and he's all grown up in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And basically, Lucy ends up going into this wardrobe in the house and finds another world. She meets Mr. Tumnus, the centaur, and she comes back and tells Peter and all of them, and she thinks she's been gone for hours, but time works differently in Narnia. So she thinks she's been gone for hours, but it's only been minutes or even seconds. And so the thing is that the siblings are very supportive of her, except for Edmund. Edmund is really a jerk. You kind of hate him at first because he does not treat Lucy well, and he's quite mean-spirited. They say it's something to do with the school that he went to, but without spoiling anything, I will say Edmund goes through what I would call a redemption arc, where he starts off pretty messed up and he kind of gets influenced in a good way by Aslan, and yeah. So Lucy discovers the world first, and then it's actually Edmund who's the second one to discover it. He kind of accidentally stumbles into the wardrobe. I think he's going after Lucy, thinking he's going to scare her, and he ends up discovering this world, and he meets the White Witch. He meets Jadis, and he doesn't think she's evil because he doesn't know any better, and she wants to talk to him about his siblings because there's a prophecy that she would be doomed when the four siblings sit on the four thrones of Cair Paravel. So there is some prophecy. This book is really good. See, what happens eventually is they all end up in Narnia, all four of them, and you end up kind of seeing what's happening with the White Witch and how it's always winter but never Christmas. And Aslan, who is Aslan? Well, he's a lion. I could just say he's kind of the Christ figure of the story, but I won't go too deep into that. There's some spoilers ahead, so I won't say that. But I will see Aslan is kind of a Christ figure, and you see his care for Narnia. He created Narnia in that first book, The Magician's Nephew. And so this book follows those four kids, the Pevensies, that's their name, in Narnia and their adventures, and they're meeting Aslan and how they essentially are going to save Narnia and establish their kingdom, establish being kings in Cair Paravel, kings and queens. So how do I feel about this one compared to Magician's Nephew? I think I like it a bit better. It's such a iconic story. I mean, the wardrobe is such a cool portal into Narnia. And I love Magician's Nephew. Magician's Nephew is very unique. They have the pools and the rings. It's really cool. But I would say I might like this a little bit better, but it's not my favorite. I will get into my favorite Narnia book in my next review. So just to let you know, I will be reviewing the entire 7-book series. So that'll be over the course of a little while here. And just to give you a heads up, next Sunday, because I do my videos Sundays, next Sunday I will likely be, I'll be doing my next Narnia review. But I believe the following Sunday is Father's Day, and I'm going to be busy doing stuff with my dad and my family. So Father's Day, 15th, there should be no video, and then after that, there should be more videos. I might also take a break if I go on a vacation at some point, but I'm not sure. So yeah, that's all I can say about The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe without getting into really spoilers, but I will say if you're interested in the series, you've never read it, or you want to reread it, you could start with The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Even though I always start Magician's Nephew, you could start wherever. A lot of these books are kind of standalones in a sense, and The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is kind of a standalone in a way, but it's kind of enhanced when you read Magician's Nephew. So anyway, that's all I can really say spoiler free. Just if you're interested, just leave a comment what you think of this series, if you've read it, if you've read this book. What's your favorite Narnia book? Leave a comment what your favorite Narnia book is. And remember to like and subscribe. And remember, you're always welcome at the Nook. Bye.